Hello there, MegaMogwai here, and I got another Legends of Runeterra video for you guys today. And for today's video, we are gonna need a bigger boat. I'm hilarious. We're gonna feature a deck that I built the other day, in fact yesterday, and the live session that I recorded yesterday as well. A concept that I've been really wanting to dive into again. That pun was actually not intended. And it is a Shark Chariot deck with Lucian and Hecarim. I think this sort of archetype is very overlooked, and I'm going to explain to you guys what this deck brings to the table and how I've optimized the deck to be able to patch certain weaknesses as best as it possibly can. So the concept with this deck is we're trying to abuse the rally effect with ephemerals, and we have a bunch of self-sacrificing effects to potentially level up Lucian and get even more rally effects. In case you guys don't know, when Lucian levels up, he has double attack, which means that if he has no blocker, he hits the Nexus twice, and if he does have a blocker, he hits them with quick attack first, and then he hits him with a normal attack afterwards, right? And his ability is really strong, especially in a deck like this. Each round, the first time an ally dies, rally. I love mixing Lucian with Shadow Isles, even though it's kind of the same lore logic as mixing Lux with Mage Seekers. I guess, you know, the enemy. I don't know what I was going to say there, but yeah, just join the enemy. I thought I had a clever quote there, but I didn't. So, yeah, Lucian actually mixes really well with the Shadow Isles region because of the fact that this region has many different sources or resources that enable death to happen really easily. Through the ephemeral keyword, Haunted Relic is one very good example. You spawn 3 unleashed spirits, which have ephemerals, which means that when they strike or when the round ends, they die, right? And Lucian will level up when 4 allies die, or Senna, which we are running a full set of as well. So the concept is to have multiple rally effects mitigate the big weakness that ephemeral have, right? Which is the fact that they're not good for blocking. Unless you know, if your opponent doesn't go for an open attack, then you can play something like Haunted Relic defensively to generate a bunch of chump blockers that turn and halt your opponent down. But if they go for an open attack, ephemeral decks don't really have the best resources to defend in that regard. So how do we, you know, patch up that weakness? We attack more and more and more to overwhelm our opponent. So this sort of strategy actually works really well. As you guys can see, our early game is comprised of the infamous Cursed Keeper, Butcher, and Chronicler of Ruin core. I love this core. I resort to it to a lot of my Shadow Isles decks because I just think it's really good. It's super reliable, and it's also highly synergistic. And most of the Shadow Isles decks that I build do tend to revolve around the Aristocrat sort of tactic. In case you don't know, Aristocrat is a term used from Magic the Gathering in which you benefit from sacrificing your own creatures, right? Through last breath effects. So with this core, alongside Lucian and Senna, Sentinel of Light, we have the Vanguard Redeemer. Rip the old voice line. I don't know what they were thinking, but I miss her. I miss the Glean Glade Caretaker as well. And now she just, you know, remember the fallen. She's so dull now. Oh my god, why you do this? Regardless, she's really strong in this deck. As a full set, she enables us to not run out of gas, as this is a very synergistic deck. And what I mean by this is that we require certain cards to be combined together. That's where this deck really shines. So we need to have good card draw to back that up, and a full set of Vanguard Redeemer and Glimpse Beyond really does help enable that to happen. We have a full set of single combat. We're playing Demacia, we play single combat, and with you know, ephemeral units is even that much better. Also, single combat onto Senna can level up Lucian in a pinch, which is really neat. And as we curve out, we have a full set of Radiant Guardian. This is because our biggest weakness is aggro decks, by far, because we are a very offensive deck and our defense is very, very limited. So we are going to be taking quite the beating, especially from aggro-based burn decks. We're going to really struggle with that. We need lifesteal, and we need it really bad. So thanks to our 3 copies of single combat, Radiant Guardian can be an absolute lifesaver in those matchups, as we have many different ways of enabling her to come into the board with a lifesteal, as we have a full set of Ravenous Butcher, so we can hold on to Ravenous Butcher against aggro to turn 5, sacrifice something, and then play Radiant Guardian and start spamming Relentless Pursuits and single combats to get her to attack multiple times times, and also to eliminate opposing threats and get all that health back, which can be absolutely backbreaking for an aggro player. And last but not least, we got Hecarim with a one-off of the Rekindler to potentially resurrect Lucian or Hecarim. Hecarim is in this deck because we are playing Shark Chariots, and Shark Chariots come onto the board every time an ephemeral attacks. So with Hecarim on the board and with multiple rally effects, we can really benefit from his ability. That's why I chose Hecarim over something like Thresh, for example, or Elise or Callista, because Hecarim is the one that benefits the most from Relentless Pursuit, as that's when you're getting the full power out of him, right? So being able to attack with him multiple times in a turn is extremely powerful, and he fits in just right, especially with Shark Chariot support. And sometimes if we have Haunted Relic and a Shark Chariot in the graveyard, we don't necessarily need to attack with Hecarim. We can go for the Haunted Relic instead, have Hecarim level up and make sure that he doesn't die, and the +3 attack boost on the ephemeral ally stays throughout the combat, which is really relevant because sometimes, you know, you really want the leveled up Hecarim effect to go through, but you have to attack with them, and your opponent can block him with something and kill him, and thus you lose the buff on the other attackers as he goes down. So if you can avoid attacking with Hecarim, you should, as that +3 attack is absolutely brutal and is going to force your opponent to block with pretty much everything, and is going to enable you to wipe out their board. Sometimes the best defense is offense. And actually that really does apply to this. And that is the deck list right there. Super fun to play. Very underrated as an archetype. I have had a lot of success with this deck. In fact, I've lost very few games with it in ranked. And I got some good gameplay for you guys. As like I said, I recorded a live session with it yesterday. So hopefully you enjoy the games. And I will be showcasing more of this deck in the near future, especially as we fill in the gap before the new expansion, which is less like a week. Yeah, it's basically a week from now, so it's not really that much. But we'll see if this sort of archetype can get any sort of, you know, support from the new expansion. That would be neat as well. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Hope you enjoy some Lucian gameplay. Let me know what you guys think of the deck. And enjoy the games. I'll stop talking. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, here we go. I'm excited to play this one. This was fun. This deck pick's pretty fun. We're facing Vladimir and Katarina, so a Crimson archetype, I would assume, which is not really the usual. I think we're going to mulligan away the Radiant Guardian. Well, she can be pretty useful. We don't need her quite yet. I'll keep the rest of my hand, though, as Chronicler of Ruin with Curse Keeper and access to Glimpse Beyond can be neat. Maybe I could have mulliganed away the Glimpse Beyond, to be honest. There's a good argument for mulligan away this. But in case my opponent applies a lot of early game pressure, I may be forced to pop this.
In the War Mother's name.
Freljord Noxus will become really neat with the new expansion. Okay, so that's interesting. Because that second Curse Keeper enables me to Glimpse Beyond plus Curse Keeper next turn to set up the Chronicler of Ruin. We're obviously not going to attack because we don't want to buffer up. So that's pretty straightforward right there.
Try to understand. I matter.
Okay. That's a big hit. That's a big hit. I think I may be able to afford this though, because I do want to level up Lucian.
Don't get in my way.
I won't fail.
If they mattered, I'd let them live.
That's 7 damage. That's a lot of damage, but I'm willing to take it here. Hold on to the Glimpse Beyond. There's Senna. Senna's interesting, but I don't think I need her. The thing about Freljord and Noxus is that
I like your face.
outside of combat, they don't really have much interaction at all, unless he's packing some random frostbites. Attacking with Lucian is, however, dangerous. So what I want to do here is, I believe I want to go for this. I was thinking about going for the Haunted Relic, but I think I prefer this. Setting up a strong board state that's hard for him to really overcome. keeping Lucian in the back because we're 2 deaths away from triggering him here.
Lift with your back, not... Wait.
That smells like a transfusion. Because otherwise... I think it would block there. Or that, okay. Alright. So he requires some sort of buff here. We have the single combat, which is really key. If my opponent were to play something like a Vladimir,
and you must be supper.
he requires some sort of health buff here to enable that. I think Haunted Relic is just my best play. Is it? I think it is. We still have the single combat enabled.
Delicious.
Worst case scenario, he ignores this, and we just level up Lucian.
Star maidens will know my name.
He said, I think this makes the most sense. He could have a take heart. He can't might this because she should just die. So he has to like always buff this. Like right now, we'll be clearing most of his board. Yeah, there's this transfusion.
Strength proves supper.
Alright, so now he's gonna level up. And there's not much we can do about that.
My glory.
Worthy of the Witcher's claw.
I'll bring them.
I'll bring the peace.
Look what you... Oh, this hurts.
I kind of want to drop. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna pass.
Marvelous.
This is mercy.
I think Hecarim is actually the best play. I think we have to capitalize on this lack of a board state, and we have to kill him now. Yeah, I was thinking of resorting to the Radiant Guardian, but I think I'm going for the kill this turn. Like, I'm not sure how he can stop this. The Crimson deck has many weaknesses, actually. There's a lot of good things it has, right? And it's not like it's particularly weak to a deck like ours, but it can't really flood the board quickly. Like, there's no way this deck can generate 2 bodies now, which means this Hecarim is, and like I said, the lack of interaction. Yeah, that's fucking. He's dead.
Don't let my size fool you.
Such a pretty thing.
He needs to play something. Now. Or he dies.
No room for doubt.
He must have a whirling death here.
This one's mine.
Noxy guillotine. I was expecting Whirling Death. Certainly not a Noxian Guillotine. I mean, I'll take this pass. Always.
Away the shadows.
There we go. So, Noxian Guillotine is a way for him to interact with me outside of that, but obviously, like, the regions don't really have that well of that many ways to actually generate damage reliably. But I think things are gonna change significantly once Ember Maiden comes out with the expansion. Like, I think Ember Maiden is gonna change a whole lot, man, and I'm really looking forward to it because Noxian Guillotine will be legit. And not only that, but the one mana, the signature spell from Swain. Oh my god, I need Swain! I need Swain so bad. I tagged my rank quite a bit because I've been trying out all sorts of because I have another deck for you guys today. This deck has actually like not lost me a game in ranked yet, but I've been testing another deck. Well, multiple variants of another deck. Built around Freljord Allegiance, so hopefully that'll be tomorrow's video. And yeah, let's just go for the one. Alright, Lupika is always playing this deck. Like, I face this guy pretty regularly, and he's always playing that deck. We want to keep the Radiant Guardian. We want to mulligan away everything else. Radiant Guardian is a win condition against aggro, so we need to try to draw the right cards. We have Radiant Guardian in single combat. Now the only true thing we're lacking is an early game, which is pretty important against aggro, you know. Not gonna lie. Hopefully no one drop.
The party has arrived.
Oh boy.
This is awesome.
We have to pass here. We gotta pass here.
First big mission.
Now this is the interesting part. I could go for a Haunted Relic and only take 2 damage this turn. I think I like that.
Just gonna put this here. Hope this works. Push back the darkness.
Play Lucian, at least get 1 trigger there.
They're as good as dead.
You're adorable when you're angry.
And now play Senna. So now if he does want to kill one of the 2, get that going, and we're gonna attack with these 2.
Scare me.
The sun's out, the crowd's ready. Let's wreck it!
It's a very heavy hit. But we have to believe in the Radiant Guardian. We just have to mitigate as much damage as possible.
I'm out of play.
And right now that's it's pretty insane damage. Okay. So I want to level up Lucian, so I want to block with Senna first.
Stand down.
Don't duck on my account.
It's 4 damage.
Go ahead. Scare me.
Damage. We remove a body, but it's easy for him to recuperate there. Like I said, we have to prevent as much damage as possible, and this is the way to prevent as much damage as possible.
Time to go.
Zeta!
Bring them peace.
I fight for the fallen.
Rules are made to be broken. Like buildings. Or people.
You should try blinking sometime.
Could have gone for the relentless pursuit there, but
Strike for justice.
I'm gonna strike. We have to use these relentless pursuits.
Of course I'm ready.
You will be scoured from this land.
That's cheeky.
Banish the unworthy.
We just keep coming.
I'll give you to the count of rise up.
And now we are back at full health. That's a pretty neat series of top decks from my opponent. Not even gonna lie.
Stay back.
Better run.
Today we turn the tide of war.
That voice line, by the way, is fucking terrible.
Rules are made to be broken. Like buildings. Or people.
You should try blinking sometime.
Wow. Wow.
One candle for every soul.
I don't know, man. Like him drawing a rummage into these two, into the battle bond and this, that's pretty crazy.
Strike.
That's pretty wild. That's pretty damn wild.
That's always been there. Backfired. I stand for Noxus.
I gotta work with this joker.
I'm gonna play around the rocket. I'm gonna go for the Ravenous Butcher here to rally again.
Now we're cooking.
Well, ain't that neat? We can attack here, he can jump block, and then all of a sudden he and then he just he kills us with this. I'm trying to think about a way out of this. I don't think we have one. Unless we top deck into a single combat. So I'm gonna have to force the, maybe a misplay. Maybe he forgets about double attack. That would be pretty ideal. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit frustrated because my opponent has top decked
With your name on it.
My opponent has top decked like really crazy.
My beautiful face.
Single combat here would be, you know, a neat little draw. Nope.
I guess we're really doing this.
GG. That was kind of crazy. Not gonna lie. But oh well. Next one. Alright, let's try this again. We can take away the Glimpse Beyond. Lucian into Senna is always a very neat curve. Lucian Senna into Chronicler of Ruin is very promising, though obviously, you know, we're doing that without interacting with our opponent initially, and that's definitely easier said than done when our opponent is threatening a Zed into a standalone.
Alone, they see things as they truly are. Tread lightly, strike hard.
They're as good as dead.
You're adorable when you're angry. There was more.
You paid for this! I'll sleep for dead.
Just kidding, Lucian. Just kidding. She's fine. She's fine. We killed her, but we revive her instantly. It's fine. We just wanted to get you very angry.
The dark beckons. Go ahead, scare me.
Bring in the heat.
My gun does the talking.
Burn away the shadows. Who disturbs me?
Master. I need no weapon.
We're gonna drop the Butcher to get an attack off on him.
They would fall by my blade.
No room for doubt.
Such unrefined style.
Let's see what he does here. Oh, you're dead. There we go. Bitch! That's sneaky. Now it's time to make her angry.
What a pity.
Lucian! Woo! Nice. GG, man. Oh, I really did not want to lose. Like, after that last game, in which my opponent, like, top decked like a god, but not just one card, like a bunch of cards. That's why I was frustrated, because I played this card, Draven, and I know how crazy that dude's draws were. So that triggered me a little bit, and the idea of following that up to a loss to Solitary Monk standalone would have probably tilted me off the face of the earth. So it's nice that we did it, And we got a cheeky win there. That was pretty sexy though. I like that a lot. That's the thing about this deck, right? The interactions with Lucian and Senna, with the ancient relics. Yeah, I think it's called the ancient relics. And the ravenous butcher. There's a lot of very neat combos, right? And I just love playing around with the rally effects with this deck. It's really neat. But I really want to showcase the sharks though. Hopefully, next game we will. Okay, so we're facing the same guy as before. Not really the kind of matchup that I wanted, but oh well. We do have Lucian with Haunted Relic, which is really, really neat. Leveled up Lucian is a threat, dude. He's a threat. Double Lucian. Not sure I need that, but who knows?
There's a chill in the air.
We're gonna drop the Lucian here.
Nothing escapes my watch.
Roses.
Bringing the heat. In Avarosa's name. See the Demastian border from here.
Not really much for us to do here. I don't want to drop the Vanguard Redeemer. I may have to right now, though. I can wait a little bit to level up Lucian. I was thinking about combining her with this to level him up this turn, but I don't think that's wise.
No room for doubt. Look out for Reavers.
He could have a Bloodsworn Pledge. Yeah. It's fine. I can do this. It's not ideal because I would have liked to be able to play the Vanguard Redeemer.
I fight for the fallen.
I'm gonna play a Radiant Guardian here. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. I'm not sure what this deck is. It seems a bit all over the place. I do like you though. Can play you.
Push back the darkness.
We don't need to play Hecarim just yet. I'd rather Chronicler of Ruin this. I'm not going to attack into that, not just yet. I also have to be wary of a potential Reckoning, so instead I'm gonna drop you. Instead of dropping Hecarim, we don't want to die to that.
Never fail. To the point.
In Avarosa's name.
Stay back.
No one gets in my way.
Virtue guides me.
2 down. Next turn I can play Hecarim. Okay, interesting. Oh, he just telegraphed that then.
Nothing alive. She's just trimming her claws.
He played the wrong Katarina because he could have surprised. I wouldn't have attacked with Lucian anyways, but he could have surprised me there. Not sure if attacking with this one was necessary.
Look out for reavers.
Is this the same guy that I played before? Because the deck is completely different. It's got Vladimir, but... I mean... May as well.
Fight with the monster of our people.
I'll bring them.
I'll bring them peace!
Light the signal fires.
Like the fact that he's buffed it. Like this Katarina, once she recalls, is gonna lose all of her buffs. So we have run out of gas a little bit, but we have a very strong board state, right? And he's holding on to that. I think I'm gonna hold on to this shark myself, because I can play it next turn.
They're afraid. They should be. To the point. No going back.
Blood for Noxus!
Sure.
Who's for supper? Want blood? I'll show you some.
Forgot it was a Vladimir there for a second. Okay. I'm gonna attack with these
Strike
things.
for justice.
This will allow me to rally, and then the second shark will pull this one. Nice. But before that, we're gonna play the Vanguard Redeemer and see what we get.
They're out there. I'll spot them.
Our ancestors are watching.
Oh my god, that voice line. What did they do to you?
You'll see soon enough.
Like we don't care, girl. Do I need to play this one? I don't.
Delicious.
Are you sure about that? You're kind of, yeah, you're gonna need it.
Hold back the darkness.
I mean, transfusion? Okay, transfusion, that's fine.
Strength.
Still can't block with it.
Kneel before me.
Alright, so now we do want every ounce of attack we can. He does have the Death Lotus. So we want to capitalize on this.
We weren't expecting callers. She'll be right out.
away the shadows.
He needs to Death Lotus here. But if he Death Lotus, he triggers these two.
Everyone, please. How marvelous.
He's got to be careful about attacking because he grants me the...
Let's see what they're made of.
Why are you attacking?
Safeguard our homes.
Be sure about that. You need all those blockers.
Quick as the blade.
Bottoms up. You would test my steel?
Now we get a free kill.
Ready the torches.
This one's mine.
I don't. That's just not the attack you want. I think people may not. It can be weird to play.
The finest serve.
It can be weird to play around Rally. Okay, that's pretty neat.
Never. I'll show you how it's done.
I mean, we literally just have to take this. And then proceed to attack next turn for the win. That got kind of spooky there for a second because those were some crazy top decks, like Triferring Assessor into a into a 5/5 Yeti. Like, I actually was 1 health away from not being able to do what I did. So, goddamn. But hey, we take it. And we showcased the power of the Sharks, which is very important. And holy crap, that was like 43 minutes? Jesus. Okay, well, I guess... I guess that'll do. I want to showcase more of this deck, but I think I did showcase it for the most part. Like, I got to showcase the Sharks, even though they got Death Lotused. But... Lucian definitely put in the massive... Lucian was definitely the MVP, and that's what I really want out of this video. I really like this deck. I wish I could have made the deck shine more against aggro. Generally speaking, with triple Radiant Guardian and triple single combat with the Relentless Pursuit, we have great comeback mechanics versus aggro decks. It can still be rough if we don't have an early game to, you know, keep up with them. But this really mitigates otherwise what would otherwise be the biggest weakness, right? Because the Sharks themselves and the Ephemerals help us out against control matchups really well. And overall, it's a very fun deck to play that nobody is really delving into. Like, people are really ignoring this sort of archetype, and I think it's very underrated. So hopefully you guys enjoy the games, and that's all I gotta say. Have a solid day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.